Hey guys, how are you today? I hope you're having a wonderful week like always, because today we have come to the end of my Spice Girls discography journey with their third studio album released in 2000 called Forever. Now, as we all know, Jerry left the Spice Girls prior to this album being released, so Jerry isn't part of this album. It's only the four girls: Baby Spice, Posh Spice, Sporty Spice, and Scary Spice. No Ginger Spice. Now, before Jerry left the group, there was actually a concept for the third album back in, I believe, 1998. It says here that the original concept for the album was to showcase solo songs, duets, and cover songs featuring all five members in order to promote the idea that the Spice Girls were all individuals yet could come together as one. But with the sudden departure of Jerry, the project took a major turn, with many of the already produced songs scrapped and the live album cancelled. Now, even though this is the end of my Spice Girls discography journey, there is more Spice Girls to come because each of the girls put out their own solo albums. With the exception of Mel B, Scary Spice, I don't think she put out her own solo studio album. Oh, she did! Hot is the debut album from Melanie Brown. It's not on Apple Music, so I went to her Apple Music page and there weren't any albums, so I just assumed she didn't put out any albums. Wow, okay, I'm gonna have to check it out now. Not only did she put out one album, she actually put out two. Her next album came out in 2005, LA State of Mind. Ooh. So I'm really excited for that. A lot of solo albums to check out, especially Melody C. Now, Melody C has been at it since 1999 with her debut album, Northern Star. Her latest album came out in 2020, and she put out 8 albums. Wow. So I'm really excited to do that, the continuation of the Spice Girls discography journey. I don't know when I'm gonna do it, but I definitely want to do it soon. But anyway, let's get into Forever. Now, there are 11 tracks on the album. The album is 50 minutes, and the only song I recall hearing is track number 11, Goodbye. All the other songs are brand new to me. I didn't even know this album existed up until maybe a year or two ago. I remember my sister owning the US-Canadian CD single of Goodbye. There were 5 tracks on that: Goodbye, Christmas Wrapping, Sisters Are Doing It For Themselves, and We Are Family, which are both live. So I remember listening to that, but not actually ever knowing that Forever existed. But like always, if I start listening to a song and it sounds familiar, I'll let you guys know. So let's get into it with track number 1, Holler. And that was track number 1, Holler. Yes! I really enjoyed that. Honestly, I don't have high expectations going into this album just because I am aware that this album received poor reviews, but I try not to let that cloud my judgment. I like to go into every album with an open mind. And I was pleasantly surprised with this track. I can see why it was the lead single. It's catchy as hell, that chorus. I really liked it. Now, obviously, it does sound quite different from their prior 2 albums, which I'm completely fine with. This track sounds very fresh and modern and very 2000s. And when I say modern, I mean it sounds modern for the year 2000. So if I was listening to this album right now in the year 2000, it would sound very modern. We can go all night doing things you thought you would never do. I won't tell anyone what we do, it's just for me and you, so come and play my game. I want to make you holler and hear you scream my name. I'll give you rules to follow so you can play my game. I don't know, I I'm thinking of 50 Shades of Grey when I listen to this song. I won't keep waiting for you to come and let me take you to my fantasy room. You're gonna like it there and all the things that I do. I'll treat you right all through the night. A very steamy and sexy song, and the track was also produced by Darkchild as well. I really do like this new sound for the Spice Girls, and I think it suits them perfectly. We kicked off the album with a banger, so I have high hopes for the rest of the album. Hopefully, all the other songs are just as good. Why am I getting a phone call? Hello?
Oh, hi. How are you today?
I'm great, how are you?
And I just wanted to take a quick moment of your time to let you know about an important optional service that's available to you. Would that be okay?
Sure.
We're simply calling today to let you know about an optional service that's available. Over 20 great benefits that will save you time, money, and give you peace of mind. You can get travel services, everything from the comfort of your own home during the course of a 30-day free trial. Simply call that toll-free number.
Actually, I do appreciate it, but I'm actually not interested at this time. If I am, I will get back to you. So I know I'm already gonna.
MBNA, we really appreciate your time.
These telemarketers, they sure love you when they're trying to sell you something, but the moment you say no, it's like, fuck you, goodbye. And just a little piece of advice to you guys. I know this has nothing to do with the video, but whenever you're dealing with telemarketers on the phone that try to sell you a service, or you're in the mall and someone pulls you aside and they give you a sales pitch and they're really happy and enthusiastic and they're pressuring you and they're saying, come on, you'll like it. They ask for your information and you almost feel pressured into saying yes. You almost feel like you have to say yes. Don't ever feel like you have to say yes. For example, this saleswoman I was just speaking to, she was very persuasive and she was very determined, and she didn't even ask me yes or no if I wanted to enroll in this service. She just asked me for my name and address. It's free, you can cancel anytime, but I already knew I was gonna cancel anyway. I wasn't gonna go through the whole hassle of being mailed this information and having to cancel. It's just too much of a hassle. I just cut to the chase. It was like, you know what, it's not for me, I don't want it. And as I was telling her that, she already was saying goodbye. She wasn't even listening to what I was saying, so she didn't even give a fuck about me anymore. So never ever feel pressured into saying yes to these people if it's something you genuinely don't want, because I've said yes many times before to these people, these services, and I've always ended up canceling whatever they sold me within a month because they just pressured me into saying yes, and it was just a waste of time. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get into track number 2, Tell Me Why.
Spice Girls, Darkchild, let's dance.
Yeah.
Tell me why. Did we end up this way? Could have stayed together, but you wanted it this way. Now where is the trust we had between us? Like that, Spice Girls. Can you tell me why? Oh, why did we end up this way? You wanted it this way. Tell me why.
And that was track number 2, Tell Me Why. Why? This song was just boring as hell. They sound so bored in the song. There's zero personality. It's just like they're going through the motions of the song. It's like they were working for several days in a row with almost zero sleep, and then they were told they had to record this song. I think the highlight of the song was the production. I like the production, but the melody and even the lyrics and the chorus, it's just a very uninteresting song. The song definitely didn't want to make me dance. It made me want to slouch. It kind of sounds like a song that Mariah Carey would have put on her Rainbow album. Tell me why, oh why, did you feel you couldn't stay? When we could have stayed together, but you wanted it this way. Tell me why, oh why, did we end up this way? When we tried to make everything okay. I'm curious to know if they're singing about Jerry in this song. We could have had it all, but you turned your back. It started with dreams, we started a team, but you weren't as true as you always seemed. So they have to be talking about Jerry. Other than that, I have nothing else to say about it, so let's move on to track number 3, Let Love Lead the Way.
makes this world go round. Will she make it through her days? Part of me laughs, part of me cries. Next you are gone, no matter what we just go on. Let love lead the way, love lead the way. Sitting there all alone, all she sees is hurt and pain. She wants to break the chain. Part of me laughs, part of me cries. Why is there joy? Why is there so much pain? Love lead the way. I know. That you are strong. Don't you give up. Yeah. Part of me laughs, part of me cries. I cry. Why is the sunshine and the rain? Love lead the way. Question why is there joy? Why is there shine in the rain?
And that was track number 3, Let Love Lead the Way. And this was a precious song. I liked it. I really did like the melody of the song. I thought it was sweet. I like the intention behind the lyrics and what they're singing about. I still think the lyrics are very basic and generic and boring. I think lazy is the best word to describe it. The Spice Girls are a lot better than the lyrics on this album so far. They definitely did the bare minimum when it came to writing the lyrics to this song. You may feel weak, but you are strong. Don't you give up, girl. If you keep holding on, you'll never be wrong. Just close your eyes, cause it lies deep in your heart. I mean, come on. I just wish they would have put more thought into these lyrics, more personality. Just keep the faith and let love lead the way. Everything will work out fine. I mean, how many times have we heard that in a song? You know what? I still would listen to the song again, even though the lyrics are atrocious. So we are gonna move on to track number 4, Right Back At Ya.
I've got a feeling things are going my way. Looking back, and you thought we wouldn't make it this far. There's been tears along the way, but we're still the best of friends. Right back at you, come on. This party's begun. Show you how. Turn your dreams into a reality. Right back at you, no R.I.P. Not forgetting the days when we were all wannabes. You know who you are, we couldn't have done it without you. So once again, we're coming right back at you. There's been tears along the way. Coming right back at you, come on. This party's begun. Right back at you, come on. This party's only just begun.
And that was track number 4, Right Back At Ya. And I kind of liked this song. I don't think it's as bad as I initially thought it was the first minute in or so. By the end of the track, I did grow to kind of like it. We're coming right back at ya. This party's begun. Jump to it. It's a brand new day. I've got a feeling things are going my way because the girls are back in town. Never needed to pretend because real friendship never ends. We're coming right back at ya. Come on. They also go on to say, a new generation of Spice we created. You all know who you are. We could have done it without ya. There's been tears along the way, but we're still the best of friends. Never needed to pretend. I like how they added their own identity to the lyrics, like spicy it up through and through. I think that was one thing initially I didn't like about the album, is how there wasn't really a sense of identity when it came to these songs. They just sounded like tracks that any other pop star could have recorded. But let's move on to track number 5, Get Down With Me.
So you need a little spice in life, huh? Come on.
Tell ya about the night I wanna have, gonna show ya piece about me. All night, wanna take you on a ride, and you'll find out just in time. If you really knew what the night has got in store for you. So get down with me.
And that was track number 5, Get Down With Me, and surprisingly, I didn't hate this song. I was kind of vibey with it, I won't lie. And you know what, I kind of am vibey with this album. I'm not loving it, but I don't think it's a horrible album. I think it's okay. If you knew just what the night has got in store for you, you wouldn't leave the room until I am through. I'm tired of being undercover. It's time. It's time to be your lover. So I think this is a great continuation of track number 1, Holler. So let's move on to track number 6, Wasted My Time. Why is this song 4 minutes? It just keeps going on and on and on. Okay, that's enough. Why is this song 4 minutes? I don't get it. This song does not deserve to be that long. It just keeps dragging on and on and on. This song definitely wasted my time. Now you seem to think that you can't live your life without me. Sorry, babe, you can't do this to me. You thought you'd play me and have things your way, so can you blame me for walking away? What did I do to be treated so bad? Now you have lost me, and I was the best thing you'd ever had. I will say, I'm really not enjoying the lyrics on this album. They're nowhere near as interesting as their prior 2 albums. I am curious to know how much impact Jerry had in the songwriting of their other songs from their past albums, because these songs just lack that fire and excitement and fieriness that we've come to expect from the Spice Girls. I think the highlight of the entire album so far is the production. The songs just don't have those extremely earworm catchy hooks and melodies like their prior 2 albums. So let's move on to track number 7, Weekend Love. And that was track number 7, Weekend Love. I mean, it's okay, I suppose. I mean, it's not horrible. It is what it is. I really didn't like the rap part of the song, Mel B's part. I think it was out of place. I feel like it was added to make the song more interesting. It sounds like a Hilary Duff song. And I'm not saying that as a negative. I like Hilary Duff, but it just blah. I think what I'm angry about is the fact that the Spice Girls are much better than a lot of these songs. I have no problem with the Spice Girls changing up their sound because it is Y2K and this is where music was headed for the new decade. But I don't find any of these songs, well, some of them, but most of the songs just aren't very interesting. I also don't think their vocals on this album are that great, especially when it comes to Victoria's vocals. And I hate saying that, but it's true. Whenever she starts singing, I just want the song to move on past her. Anyway, let's move on to track number 8, Time Goes By.
I've never had a feeling so right. Tell me softly you love me too. So for eternity you will have a part of me. Time goes by but we stand still. I know that we were meant to be my love. That's how I feel. No, I never thought I would ever fall so deep. So sweet. What if I told you that I believe
Why am I laughing?
destiny?
I feel bad for laughing, it's not intentional.
Time goes by. I know we're meant to be.
And that was track number 8, Time Goes By. And I don't know what was happening to me as I was listening to this song. And I do apologize for laughing during the song. It was very much natural. It wasn't intentional. It was just how my body was naturally reacting to this song. This is another song on the album that didn't need to be as long as it is. It's 4 minutes and 52 seconds. It's almost 5 minutes. It is definitely one of the worst songs on the entire album. I just find it hard to believe that the Spice Girls thought these songs were good enough to put on their 3rd studio album. I do like a few of the songs, but there are a lot of them that are quite questionable. I think what also did it for me when it comes to this song, Time Goes By, is it's just so emotionless and so bland, and it's just boring. You can definitely tell they're kind of just going through the motions and they almost don't really care. But anyway, let's move on to track number 9, If You Want to Have Some Fun. Please, I need some fun right now.
The party after the show, I see your face, I wanna get to know. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, are you man enough? Sugar, if you wanna have some fun, track me down and get my number. Something nice and real close to me. I feel your heat, you wanna get with me. Babe, I'm gonna keep it up all night. Wink, nudge, nudge, are you man enough?
Yeah. And that was track number 9, If You Want to Have Some Fun. And I did have fun listening to that song. You know what? This is hot. I definitely feel like this is one of the better songs on the album, and I would listen to it again. My only gripe with it is it's over 5 minutes. I don't know why so many of these songs are as long as they are. Over 4 minutes, over 5 minutes. I probably would have liked this song a lot more if it was shorter. Baby, I'm gonna keep you up all night. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Are you mad enough? Why don't you tell me how you unwind? And if you're open, I'll blow your mind. So this track definitely keeps in with the more sexual theme of the album. It also sounds like a song that could have been part of one of their prior 2 albums. So let's move on to track number 10, Oxygen.
There will come a time I know I'm gonna meet. This is my time to work things out. That's the way I love.
And that was track number 10, Oxygen. And I really liked the chorus of this song. I thought it was really pretty. It was kind of just one note the entire time. I wish they would have done something more with the song towards the end. I wish they would have made this a power ballad. This grand moment at the end with perhaps Mel C's vocals. I just wish there was a bit more oomph in the end of the song, I guess. So for me personally, I did like the song. It's just, I think it's one of those tracks on the album that could have been a lot better. Every time I breathe in, it brings me warmth from within. When you touch me, I start believing. Loving is like oxygen. You're in every breath I take. Imagine a life without love. I'd be so afraid, cause the love that we share would be hard to replace. So I do like the lyrics of this song. Lyrically, it is probably one of my favorite tracks from the album. But anyway, we have come to the end of the album, track number 11, Goodbye.
Listen, little child, there will come a day, never mind the pain, all the aggravation. Look for the rainbow in every storm. Goodbye, my friend. Oh, you got me searching, but I can still feel you here. No, 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 no. Went into the woods. What a revelation. Love's gonna be there for you. You'll always be someone's baby. Times when we would play back the way we used to scream and shout. Goodbye, my friend. Know you got me searching, but I can still feel you here. We'll never, never ever change it. No, no, no. Forget your candlelight. You know it's time to say goodbye.
And that was the final track, Goodbye, and it's sad. This is the end of the Spice Girls, Goodbye, and I remember hearing this song when I was a kid, and I was sad because I essentially thought they were saying goodbye, like this is the end. They were saying goodbye to Jerry, but I also felt like they were saying goodbye as a group. I also remember the music video to this song, and I always liked it. It was winter time, and the girls were walking into this huge mansion, and it was filled with snow and ice. All the people were frozen, the furniture was frozen, or something like that. I think there were wolves outside as well. Look for the rainbow in every storm. Find out for certain love's gonna be there for you. You'll always be someone's baby. Goodbye, my friend. I know you're gone. You said you're gone, but I can still feel you here. It's not the end. You gotta keep it strong before the pain turns into fear. So glad we made it. Time will never change. You know it's time to say goodbye. This was always one of my favorite Spice Girls ballads. Lyrically, it is probably my favorite song on the entire album, and overall, I do think it's the strongest song on the entire album. The only thing is, it doesn't really sound like the rest of the album. I don't know, I always get emotional when I listen to this song. From my understanding, this song was recorded 2 years earlier in 1998. But at the end of the day, I am happy they included it on this album. So that was all 11 tracks of Forever by the Spice Girls, and I guess it's safe to say that I was very much disappointed in this album. I definitely didn't dislike it as much as I thought I would, but I still didn't like quite a few of the songs. You can definitely tell that the girls were over it. They really were. Not over being musicians and artists because they did release solo albums, but you can tell that the passion just wasn't there anymore. Especially when it comes to the lyrics of these songs, they're very much lackluster and ordinary and quite boring. Even though I didn't really like the lyrics of this album, they still could have elevated the lyrics with their voices and their vocals, but even their singing was quite monotone and one note. I personally think the highlight of the entire album was the production. I think the production was great. What I also didn't like about the album is quite a few of the songs are over 4 minutes. Some of them are even over 5 minutes. Given how uninteresting some of these songs are, They do not deserve to be 5 or 4 minutes. This album was lacking that special touch to it. And I do think Jerry leaving had something to do with it. I just wish they would have tried a bit harder on this album because it almost comes across that they kind of gave up. But there are still a handful of songs I would definitely listen to again. I really liked Holler. Holler it's a bop, it really is. And also, what other songs did I like? I kind of liked Right Back At Ya and Let Love Lead the Way. That was a pretty song. And if you want to have some fun, that was a lot of fun. I think the worst offenders on the album are tracks 6 and 8, Wasting My Time and Time Goes By. Now, this album did receive mixed reviews. It received mixed reviews from critics, but it was also poorly received by the general public. I don't think this is a horrible album by any means, but it's definitely not up to the standards that we've come to expect from the Spice Girls, especially now that they're entering this new era of music, the 2000s decade. It definitely could have been a lot better, and overall, I think it's just, I guess, mediocre. Not even okay, just mediocre, I guess. So what did you guys think of the album, and what are your impressions? Maybe you love this album. Tell me why. So it looks like that's all I have to say, and like I said at the beginning of this video, I will be checking out all of their solo albums down the line, which I am very much excited for. So thanks for watching, guys. You can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Twitter, you can message me, you can say, hey, how are you? And I'll see you next time. Take care.